Welcome back to another episode of the Web Coding Recap series. In today's video, you will learn how to take a plain about section and turn it into a clean, modern, and fully responsive design using CSS, including layout, spacing, flexbox, image styling, and text formatting. So let's jump straight into the code. First, we'll set up a dedicated About section on our single-page website. Section and its ID will be About, the name of our section. You already know the section tag simply groups a specific type of content, and by giving it the ID About, we can style it separately and make it stand out in CSS. Now every good About section needs a visual. And because this isn't a team section, you have freedom here. You can use your storefront, a product photo, a team picture, anything that gives visitors a quick sense of your brand. To add the image, we just point to the file. I've already saved mine as about.jpg, and to control its size and placement, I'll assign it a class called about-image. So let's give the web browser the file source. The file source is the name of the file and class is about-image. Next, let's create a content box for the heading and description. This is where you actually tell the people what your business does, and so we'll wrap it in a container and give it a class for styling. So we create a division class, a division container, and assign it a class. We can name it like about-content. We start with a sub-level headline, about green leaf landscaping. Now we add description, and Visual Studio is auto suggesting us, so let's adopt this description. And this completes the HTML structure for our About section. Before we move on to CSS, let's save our file and refresh the browser. And refresh the browser. As you can see, it looks pretty plain right now. No styling, no layout, just raw content. And that's exactly what we want at this stage. Next part, we are going to clean this up with CSS and turn it into a polished professional section that actually feels like a part of a real website. So let's walk through the CSS for our About section line by line so you understand exactly what each part is doing. Let's start with the About section. We first define the global settings. And this is going to be a main container for the entire About section. And we first adjust its padding, 60 pixels and 20 pixels. This adds space inside the section, 60 pixels at the top and bottom and 20 pixels on the left and right. It gives the content breathing room. Now, background color for our About section. It's hex. Let's apply a hex code F6FB and F6 again. As you can see, this sets a very soft greenish background behind the section. It gives the About area a light, clean feel. Now let's set the color of the for the text inside the About section. and its hex code is 123524. This sets the default text color for everything inside the about section. It's a deep green shade that gives a natural, eco-friendly look. And now we select the display for the about section. This activates Flexbox, allowing items like the image and the text to sit side by side. Next is align items to center. It's not items, item. So this is going to vertically center the image and the text content in a nice straight line. Now gap between the about contents and the image is 40 pixels. This adds 40 pixels of space between the image and the text box, so they are not squished together. Next is flex wrap. Flex wrap will be wrap. This allows items to move to the next line on smaller screens, perfect for mobile responsiveness. Now let's style the image content itself. Our class for image was about dash image. Dot image. Dot about dash image. Let's use flex for image as well. 380 pixels. Here flex 380 pixels simply means start with a width of 300 pixels, but feel free to grow if there is extra space and shrink if the screen becomes smaller. The two ones allow flexibility, and the 380 pixel is the starting size. So now let's also set the minimum width to 260 pixels. The image container will never shrink below 260 pixels even on smaller screens. Now let's also define the maximum width. Maximum width is I think 520 pixels will be fine. This is going to keep the layout clean and prevents the image from becoming too large. As you have already seen, the image is very large on the screen. So this CSS rule will fix this issue. So next we can do is set the type of display for the image, and it will appear as a block. This removes any default inline spacing and makes the container behave like a block level element. Now we are targeting the actual image tag, which is about dash image and image. Here. So the width of the actual image tag is set to 100%. The image expands to the full width of its container, no stretching beyond it. Let's also fix the height of the image and make it auto. So this keeps the image's natural proportion so it never looks distorted. Display should be as a block. So to remove small gaps that image usually add when displayed as inline elements, and border radius 80 pixels. This slightly rounds the corners of the image for a smooth modern look. Now let's also add a box shadow. Box shadow is 0, 8 pixels, 20 pixels RGBA. Fourteen, 64, 35, and 0.08. RGBA. So this line adds a soft shadow under the image, giving it a lifted 3D feel. Now the object cover, object fit should be cover. This is going to make sure the image always fills its container nicely, no stretching, no weird squeezing. So now let's fix the content of the about section. We use here flex 420 pixels. The content area can grow and shrink like the image, but it starts at 420 pixels wide. And the minimum width should be 260 pixels. So this minimum width will not shrink smaller than 260 pixels, keeping it readable on small devices. Now let's style the title inside the content box. The sub-level title was .about -content, and this was heading 2 or headline 2. Let's give it a font size, and we fix the font size to 1.8 rem. This is going to make the headline large and eye-catching. Margin is 12 pixels and 0. No margin on the top or sides, but 12 pixels at the bottom, giving space before the paragraph starts. And the color of this content will be black. So the heading stands out clearly from the paragraph text. So finally, the paragraph styling. About dash content P, font size will be 1 rem. Okay, when you see 1 rem in CSS, it just means 1 unit equal to the base font size of your web page. Most browsers set that base to 16 pixels, so 1 rem usually equals 16 pixels. It's a flexible unit that scales nicely on different devices. So again, we set a line height, and it is 1.6. Line height. And bottom margin bottom 18 pixels. color code is hash 243433. So this is going to give a dark green text color that's easy on the eyes and matches the theme. And finally, maximum width. The paragraph will be 720 pixels. This prevents the paragraph from stretching too wide on large screens and keeping it readable. And that completes the styling of our About section. We took simple HTML and turned it into a clean, responsive, professional-looking layout using Flexbox, proper spacing, and polished image styling. So let's see what magic our CSS rules have made. Let's save our code, go to the browser and refresh it, and here you go. As you can see, now everything has come together, and it looks very professional and very comforting and very appealing to the eyes of your visitors. In the next video, we'll continue building our web page by designing the services section, and you learn even more layout techniques that makes your website look modern and user-friendly. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next part. I'll see you in the next episode.